Time now for the morning rush. We start with new details about the victims in one of the deadliest attacks on American journalists. As friends and family continue mourning the 5 victims, journalists at the Capital Gazette are forging ahead with publication today, saying it's what their colleagues would have done. That does include summaries of the 5 victims. They are Wendy Winters, the special publications editor, Rebecca Smith, a sales assistant, Rob Heisen, an assistant editor and columnist, Gerald Feischman, an editorial page editor, and John McNamara was a writer.
And along those lines, police say the alleged gunman Jared Ramos specifically targeted the newspaper. We have learned the Gazette reported that Ramos has a long-standing grudge against the newspaper, even bringing a defamation suit against them back in 2012. He lost that case. Threats were made against the paper on social media on the day of the shooting. Now, police used facial recognition software to ID Ramos. This after he damaged his fingertips to prevent quick identification. Kristen?
When it comes to today's storm chances, we're going to be looking at the mountains initially out over south central, southwest, and east central New Mexico. Here, these will drift east northeast, but you can see still pretty scattered in coverage. A lot more cloud cover out there today and tomorrow. Still on the mostly partly sunny sky side, but a few spot storms likely farther to the east near the state line. Crystal?
This morning, police say they're still searching for a suspect responsible for a shooting near UNMH. Police say Syed Hyder was selling merchandise at the corner of University and Lomas on Monday. That's when they say another man began to argue about prices. Police say that man then shot Hyder in the stomach. The suspect, described as a Hispanic man in his 20s with dark hair and possibly a mustache. The vehicle described as a Toyota with damage on the passenger side doors.
Happening now, we're waiting to hear when the governor's longtime Tax and Rev Secretary Demesia Padilla will appear in court for the first time. According to a 42-page criminal complaint from the AG's office, Padilla allegedly stole more than $25,000 from a Bernalillo trucking and grading firm she had done accounting work for. Padilla allegedly made repeated transfers from the company to her personal accounts from 2011 until 2016 when she resigned. Now she is facing charges of fraud and embezzlement.
Happening now, former Trump campaign chair Paul Manafort asking to be released from jail before his trial. The filing in the D.C. Court of Appeals argues that his detention impairs his ability to prepare for the defenses in his 2 trials. Manafort's accused in 2 high-profile federal cases with charges that do include money laundering in connection to foreign ties. Manafort was jailed for alleged tampering with a witness. This is something, his attorneys have denied.
And this morning, a family is still seeking justice in what they're considering the wrongful death of a family member. Tito Pacheco was killed last July after being hit by a burglary suspect who was on the run from police. APD used a pit maneuver to try and catch the burglar, causing him to crash into Pacheco. Now, in a lawsuit, the family claims the tactics APD used were dangerous and violated Pacheco's civil rights. The city has filed a motion asking for the complaint to be dismissed.
Happening right now, one of the 2 men, police say opened fire near an Albuquerque daycare last August, is beginning his 9-year sentence this morning. Jacarl Jenkins pleaded guilty earlier this year to opening fire along Montgomery after spotting people he says he recognized from a previous shooting at a daycare. The family was caught in the crossfire. A little girl was cut by shattered glass.
Happening now, the city is doing an inventory to see exactly what was taken from a Parks and Recreation office. This as they search to see if any of the stolen items resurface in unlikely places. Crooks broke into a building sometime over Wednesday night near the Montesa Parks Convenience Center off I-25. Now, once they were on the scene, police say they found carts full of equipment left scattered on the property. Police are looking to see if the items will show up at flea markets and pawn shops.
This morning, we're still waiting to learn if the state legislature will approve funding for a rail runner spur that would lead to Balloon Fiesta Park. A previous plan for the line was made back in 2008. The state says that plan was scrapped when the economy tanked. Augusta Myers with the rail runner says the state would need to put the estimated $2 million aside to make all of this happen. Kristen.
Today's Metro Threat Index added 2 for some hot temperatures. We're still in those mid to upper 90s, but storm chances not great today. We'll see the cloud cover and the winds will stay less than 15 miles per hour coming out of the west. Crystal?
Final farewells today as toy company Toys R Us closes the last of its U.S. stores. However, the buildings of the former toy giant won't remain vacant for long. According to a real estate analyst with Standard & Poor's, many of the storefronts should be occupied by the holiday season. Companies like Party City and Home Goods already announcing plans to utilize the unoccupied buildings.
New this morning, health officials are saying they believe they have identified a source of the E. coli contamination in romaine lettuce from the Yuma, Arizona growing region. Now, they are now linking it to contaminated water from several regional canal water samples. However, the FDA has not been able to identify exactly where the water is coming from. The latest numbers show this E. coli outbreak resulted in 5 deaths and more than 200 others to become hospitalized.
Happening right now, 2 Peruvian artists collaborating with 5 local artists to address different social issues that Peru and much of the world are facing. We're talking about migration and immigration. The exhibition is called Crafting Memory, the Art of Community in Peru. It's housed inside the Museum of International Folk Art in Santa Fe. The week-long collaboration will wrap up with events this weekend. For more details, go to alwayson.krqe.com. Kristen.
Time now for a check in your Friday morning commute. We do have reports of a dresser in the right lane of the on-ramp at I-40 westbound near the 4th Street exit, so use caution there. We also have our news tracker out and about this morning on Coors headed south. A few cars out there this morning, but no problems. We haven't heard of anything just yet. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning.
New at 6, your Starbucks Frappuccino will taste twice as sweet today. The coffee giant is offering a special buy one get one free happy hour promotion. Now, to snag the deal, you can head over to a Starbucks after 3:30 p.m. But to participate, you have to sign up for a Starbucks Rewards, and then you can choose from any Frappuccino on the menu.
You know who's a big rewards member?
Who's that?
Kristen Curry.
Yes, she is.
We're going to go with her.
Yeah, we are.
Let's take you now through the 5 facts.
Number 5, New Mexico teens will have plenty of new and safe ways to enjoy the summer nights. The Department of Family and Community Services now announcing teen nights at 4 area community centers. This will be happening every Friday night through the end of July. And best of all, it is free. For a list of events, times, and locations, log on to KRQE.com.
At number 4, a peaceful protest ends with roughly a dozen arrests at the Roundhouse in Santa Fe. One of the groups says it wants the governor to pull National Guard troops from the border. According to the Santa Fe New Mexican, the demonstrators, including a group called New Mexico Women's March, are also protesting the separation of families at the border and immigration policies. Now, things escalated when 3 of the women refused to leave the governor's office after it had closed. And state police say those arrested could face disorderly conduct charges.
At number 3, temperatures in the 90s here in the metro. We've got breezy conditions tomorrow as the storm crosses to our north. As far as what's going on in the extended forecast, a mix of sun and clouds, maybe a few spot storms to watch out for too in and around the holiday. Our temperatures, though, not moving a whole lot. Those mid to upper 90s continue through Monday.
Number 2 now, APD says Officer Jonathan O'Gwen is still on paid leave after fatally shooting a suspected armed robber, I should say, dead outside a busy supermarket. APD says that officer was acting in self-defense. In the video here, Richard Rivera claims to have a gun. Officers say they did not find a gun on him, but found one inside the van that he was driving. Officers say they tracked down Rivera after an earlier crime that the chase began. According to police, Rivera fired shots while driving. Police say they chased Rivera and another woman to the Smiths on Yale and Cole. APD says Officer O'Gwen shot Rivera before he could create a violent hostage situation inside that grocery store.
And at number 1, former longtime Tax and Rev Secretary Demesia Padilla could soon appear in court for the first time. This as she is facing charges of fraud and embezzlement. According to a 42-page criminal complaint from the AG's office, Padilla allegedly stole more than $25,000 from a Bernalillo trucking firm she had done accounting work for. She allegedly made repeated transfers from the company to her personal accounts from 2011 until 2016. Now, she's also accused of trying to pressure Tax and Rev workers to bury an audit of the company to cover it all up. Padilla could spend 25 years behind bars for the alleged crimes.